they play with words. They give you these words like driver and traffic. They give you a traffic ticket. You think you're stuck in traffic. You're not stuck in traffic. Traffic has to do with commercial movement. Okay, so they give us these words and we're saying these things, giving it life without understanding the meaning of it. That's all spiritual. All
right, baby, welcome back. What's up? We're here again with another episode of Rated G with Gary G. Garcia and Brian Licata. I'm your host, Gary G. Garcia, along with my brother in Misinformation, Brian Licata. It's good to see you. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. You are sporting the fucking Rated G mug, and I hate you. How did you get one before me, man?
Tina got it delivered in the mail. The mug, it went to her house.
That's what you get when you join the Patreon, people. What's it say on the back?
It says, "My ignorance is what makes me adorable."
There you go. A little quote from the G-Man right there, man. People, join that Patreon. Get yourself a mug.
Yeah,
we have a special show today, man. I'm very excited for this show. I apologize for being late, guys. I had a rough night last night, man. My son's boy came out here, Mike. Big up to Mike from North Carolina. Mm-hmm. And we were just fucking, I think we hit every single fucking club in Atlantic City last night. I think.
Were you guys dancing or what?
Yeah,
dancing, drinking, club hopping.
Buddha was with us. Matt was with us for a little while. You know, my son was wilding out, but he had a good time. So that's all that matters, man.
Very nice.
You know,
very nice.
I just asked Simeon when you were gone, how's the family? And he said something that was so deep to me. He said, if you ask me, they're good, but you need to ask them if they want the truth, if you want the truth. It's always different than what it should be, man. Exactly. I got a special guest with me tonight, man. This brother here, I met him in, when did we meet, man? Early 2000, maybe before that. It's hard to remember, but I met him when I was doing Christian hip hop.
Yeah, it was
my brother Moe Olivier.
Yeah,
he also goes by the name Simeon. That's his stage name, Simeon. He's one of the best MCs I've ever heard in all my life. To this day,
you're too kind.
But you know I mean it. From this day, I still quote his shit. I was quoting his shit to him the other day, and he was like, "Oh shit, I did write that." Why I'm so excited to have you here. He was part of the Christian band called Last Call.
Yeah.
Who was the brother that was with you? I forgot his name.
Thurston, man.
Yo,
vocalist.
People, Google Last Call, man. It was one of the illest bands in the world. There are so many bands that are so fucking good that I know that never got the shine that they should have got, man. And this is one of them, man. Last Call was one of the craziest bands I ever got to hear or watch perform. Their fucking live shows were nuts.
You know, I gotta say that, you know, as you go through, like, you know, when I'm listening to you, you know, and you introducing me and you're giving out the various names, you're just bringing me to the realization that as you go through stages in life, your identity changes. So, you know, I went from Simeon to the Young Wizard, Wiz to now Moe Olivier, which is kind of like a full circle because growing up in Brooklyn, if you're from the neighborhoods, the neighborhood names you, you know what I'm saying? So you always get a different name other than the name that's on your birth certificate, other than the name that your mom gave you. So, you know, they gave me Mo growing up. So I feel like life is full circle. And this is kind of the theme of what's going on right now. So I went from Simeon Child to Young Wizard, Wiz, now Moe Olivier. And, you know, depending on who you are, you might call me a different name. If I walk down the street to somebody go, yo, Mo, I know that's somebody from the block. If I go down the street to somebody, so, yo, Wiz, I know that's somebody from a certain era in my music world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If somebody goes Sim, I know that's somebody who met me during the Christian hip hop era.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've always called you Simeon. That's always been my favorite. Even when you changed your names, I was still calling you Simeon all the time. I answer
to them all because they are all part of who I am.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And one of the reasons why I'm so excited to have this brother, we've kind of strayed from the topic for a while because we were going in hard and getting banned from everybody. But Simeon has been very vocal through this whole pandemic. Scamdemic,
through
this whole scamdemic, pandemic. And he actually, you know, for everybody out there who says they don't have a choice when it comes to getting the vaccination, you always have a choice, you know.
Right.
And Mo took the choice of the road less traveled. You know, he decided not to get it. You were the dean, right?
Yeah, I was working with the Department of Education for 23 years. You know what I'm
23
saying?
years.
My last, I guess, title would be Dean of Students.
Were you working for like the state or the federal education system?
City, New York.
The city.
I
Okay.
mean, I guess, you know, we're licensed by the state, but we work
Right.
for
Yes. For the city. Okay.
city, right?
Cool.
New York City, Department of Education. You know what I mean?
So when the time came that they put the pressure on you and said you got to get vaccinated or you know, you lose the job, you chose the path of the warriors.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm constantly always asking where my warriors at. And this is why this is my brother right here, straight up warrior, living it to the truth. He's been actively involved. I've been watching you since this whole shit started, actively involved with all the teacher movements and the protests and the marches and all that shit. He's been there for all of that. Yep. And I hooked up with him again on, what was it, Monday or Tuesday? Yeah, he went live and I saw that he was trying to you were trying to get in to see your daughter's project.
Right. So there was you know, they do this every year. You know, it's a consortium school, whereas they don't for the most part, most of the students in the school opt out of the state exam. My daughters opt out of the state exam. So instead, what they do presentations at the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? And the kids create projects, you know, based on what they've been studying, and they display it to all of the parents. And, you know, generally it's a really amazing thing to watch the kids put together something that was in their brain that they put together with their hands, you know, and it's really some really amazing things to watch. And of course, as a parent, you know, you want to try to support your kids as much as possible. So I went to the school on Monday. You know, in fact, let me take it from the back. My daughter didn't actually tell me about the event. You know, I kind of overheard it from some parents, and then she mentioned it. And, you know, in the car, you know, we always have these conversations, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm excited." First, she says, "I'm excited about my project." This is early on. "I'm excited about my project because I'm doing it by myself." And she's been talking to me about this project. You know, she chose the Mayan culture and how they do holistic medicine, right? Which, you know, for me was dear to my heart.
How old is she?
She's 10.
Damn.
Right.
So I haven't seen you in about like 8 years.
There it is.
Real shit.
Right.
I think the last time I saw you was when I did the contest, when I was first starting comedy and I did the contest.
Oh, yeah. Right.
I think that's the last time we actually saw each other face to face, man.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been.
Oh, man. Time flies, bro.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, so she chose this project, and, you know, if you understand what my house is, you know, we're all about holistic, you know, medicine. You know, we juice, we do all of that, you know, black seed oil, fever grass tea, like we're all on the holistic tip. So the fact that she chose this topic, you know, I was personally proud because, you know, it's a little bit of our house, our family culture coming out into the school. You know what I'm saying? So she chose this topic. And I remember her talking about it, saying how there wasn't a lot of information for her to research. So whatever the case is, she got it done. But she didn't want to tell me that they was having a museum to demonstrate the exhibit. So we're in the car, I'm driving her to school, and she
didn't want to tell you because she already knew that there'd be a problem of you going to see her, right?
No, she knows. Yes. So she's trying to protect me and maybe trying to protect her own. You know, she just trying to avoid a bad situation. Yeah, that's what I get from it. And, you know, she gives me this, you know, before this, she's excited that she's working by herself because she's like, you know, when I work by myself, my ideas come to fruition how I see it. But then she tells me at the same time, well, I didn't want you to come see it because it looks really bad. But I'm like, wait a minute. You said when you work by yourself, your ideas come to fruition how you see it. She's like, yeah, but this time it didn't. So, you know, I'm that kind of parent. I'm like, if you tell me no, that really means yes. That's just how I am in general. If you tell me no, that just really means yes. So she's like, I don't want you to come. I said to her, so the fact that you don't want me to come means I'm definitely coming. And you know, I come every year. And previously she said before, oh, well, you know, you can't get in my school. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get in your school. So, you know, And then
Yeah, so I joined in when he was having his, I don't want to say confrontation because it
right,
never really became a confrontation.
right. It was really like about me because the problem is. So anyway, let me just say. So I
You
got to
handled that a
school.
lot better than I would have. You
Look,
really did. You handled it a lot better because there was a couple of times where the dude, see, he was telling the dude, listen, I just want to go see the project and I'll leave.
right.
And the dude's like, you can't do it. And my man Sim was trying to explain to him how they use us
Against
to
us.
go against each other.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying to the dude, look, me and you right now are getting into this. I ain't got no beef with you. You ain't got no beef with me. But because you want to follow this mandate where the reality is he could have just said to him, turn off the camera, dog. Right. Go ahead, go see the thing and come out. Boom. Right. What are they going to do? What's going to happen if he did that?
And that's this. And this
no
is
one would have known shit.
The
only reason why anyone knew anything was because he kept telling them no, and it became a situation.
Right. And I don't know if you guys were paying attention to, like, and the reason why I wasn't as confrontational as I could have been with him is because the surrounding people, the people around were more, passive aggressive. Some white folks are like, they're passive aggressive. You got to pay attention to their tone. So while I'm sitting there, engaging in discourse with this brother who I understood, he was like, look, man, it's my job, because he's the lowest dude on the totem pole. If you got to understand, if you pay attention to everybody that's giving you opposition in this season, all of them are the low base workers. You know what I'm saying? The people who are making minimum wage, whose salary is nothing more than $30,000 a year, if that much. Mm-hmm. But everybody else, all of the folks in the at the school building, I'm listening because I'm talking to him, but I'm also paying attention to what everybody else is saying. Because, you got to watch your surroundings. And they're like, this one woman is like, well, she's not talking to him. She's like, well, let's close the doors. Right? Because they don't want me to come in. So I peeped that, oh, you trying to close the door. I'm trying to have a civil conversation with this brother. But on this flip side, you trying to close the door thinking I'm not paying attention to you. So, long story short, I was like, look, bro, I'm going in. I'm going in, and that's what I did. I went in, and he, you could see, you guys couldn't see that, and I purposefully didn't want to put the camera. Yeah,
you didn't put the camera on him. I noticed that.
I really didn't want. This is not
trying
about,
to blow him up.
I'm not trying to blow nobody up. I'm not trying to embarrass anybody, which is what a lot of folks are doing out here. Because it becomes a me against my fellow man war. You know what I'm saying? It's against me and that brother on another situation. We'd probably be playing ball together, probably having a drink together and laughing. You get what I'm saying? But because of his uniform, the system has made him an enemy of me and me an enemy of him. And I'm very conscious of that. So I don't want to, if it was a different situation and I know you trying to violate me, you don't got a uniform on, you trying to violate me, then, all hell's going to break loose. But because I understand the dynamics of this position that he's putting in, when I look at him, I look at his family, I look at his father and everybody that came before him that made him who he is today. And I respect and I got love for that person. You get what I'm saying? So I'm trying my best to get him to understand, look, my war is not with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still going to do this. But you in that uniform, and that uniform is putting your body in a position that it would otherwise not want to be in. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, and that's the part of this fight that I feel like a lot of the freedom fighters out here, we need to be cognizant of. Is the person that's going to be right in front of you, that person is essentially not your enemy. That person is either doing something that he or she feels like is against their will, that they have no choice to do, or they're doing something out of sheer ignorance, which most people are doing shit straight up out of ignorance. Like really, there's just a lot of dumb people out here in the world making decisions that they really, really don't know that they're making or know that they have a choice to make. You get what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, it comes down to what I said the other day. Everyone has a choice, is whether or not you're ready to deal with the consequences. Right. Because most of these people have the same exact choice that you had.
Right.
You were 20-something years deep in the fucking game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dean, you didn't want to lose your job. You got a house. You got a mortgage. You got your daughter. You got your wifey. And yet,
the mortgage ain't cheap, man. You know what mortgage is. It ain't cheap.
Nah,
can you tell me how the school came up to you about that? Did you have somebody talk to you directly? Did you get like an email that said you have to get this? Did they try to work around you at all, or was it either get it or get out? Like how did that whole thing work?
So the system is very, very conniving. It's a bureaucracy. So everything happens in
Yeah,
Everything happens
through people. It's just
and also through
it's all
email
middlemen.
communication.
Yeah,
So what
yep,
they do is, it's a lot of email communication saying you
yep.
got to do this, you have this date, you have that
Right.
date, and then they use.
Impersonal.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good, man.
So
They take the personality out of it when they do that.
they
too.
definitely take the personality. So in my situation, after they sent all of the emails asking for you to comply, then they sent email communication to the building principal. So the principal got all the information about all of the workers or
who got it versus who didn't get it.
Didn't have it. So they have a list of everyone who didn't submit their shot, which to me that's a privacy issue, right?
Yeah, since when? That's another thing. Since when were we allowed to ask people
right
about their medical shit?
Look, I'm about to start asking people if you got AIDS, herpes, what you got? Because can I see your AIDS or herpes cards? Because this is the world we in right now. Everybody just knows everything about everyone. So they got this email, a list of everyone, and in my school, my personality is very strong. I was never scared to speak. I mean, when I was a kid, I was, but as an adult, I was never afraid to say my piece. Yep. And when you're outspoken like that, people are always tiptoeing around you. Mm-hmm. So I'm one of those people that they tiptoe around. Yeah. So he came to me. He was like, first they started off with the whole testing because I ain't take a test a day in my life. I still haven't gotten a COVID test.
Bang.
I don't plan to.
We unicorns, baby. You say we don't exist. Take a look. We're looking at unicorns, motherfucker.
So, they started with the testing, and this is what they do. They slowly begin to condition you to how they want you to acclimate. So they started with, having these COVID testers come into the building, saying that testing was mandatory. And then I don't know if you guys remember over the news, they say if you don't get tested, that you can potentially lose your job. But I was just sitting around waiting. I'm waiting for them to come and ask me to get tested. So he came and he asked me, well, do you want to get tested? I said, nope. He's like, enough said. And he never asked me about testing again. In fact, I am what was called the BRT team leader, which is the building response team leader, right? So which means anything dealing with emergencies, fire drills, COVID, that I'm the person that, work with the system, set it up, put people in place, and making sure that everybody does what they do. So even in that, the COVID testers are supposed to communicate with me. In fact, there's 2 schools in the building. So oftentimes when the COVID testers come in, they call me to say, hey, the COVID testers are here. What should I do? But because they knew I wasn't with the bullshit, they assigned somebody else to deal with the COVID testing. You know what I'm saying? And obviously they wouldn't come to me to get tested because I'm not. I was vocal, like, look, I'm not doing this. This is nonsense. I know if I'm sick. I know when I'm sick, and I know I ain't sick. I don't need a test to tell me I'm sick. I live with myself all these years. Yep. So, it started with that, and then they slowly moved when they moved down to mandatory vaccination. I went to my principal. He's like, I was saying, look, I don't care what y'all say. I'm coming to work. It was Monday. I said, I'm coming to work on Monday. You telling me not to come in? Now you ain't gonna get me on abandonment of my job. Right. So whatever the case is, I'm coming to work on Monday. So I said to the principal, I'm like, look, I'm coming in on Monday. I said, if you don't want me to come in on Monday, give me a letter in your handwriting saying do not report to work. So I have it in writing that you told me not to report to work. Yep. So and he did it. He wrote me a letter. Please do not, because it is.
I'm surprised he wrote you that letter.
I'm surprised too. And I still have that letter as my evidence. So when they say things like I'm on a leave of absence without pay, they're lying, because I was told, and I have it in writing, that I was not to report to work until I hear from Central. So I'm simply complying with the directive from my supervisor, from the building principal. You get what I'm saying? Because I was straight, and I told all of the school safety agents, I'm like, look, I'm coming into work, and I, I'm gonna be on record. I'm coming into work. You letting me in? Now they all love me. They all cool with me. Like, yo, we don't got no problem with you. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing in this world. Like real human beings recognize other real human beings, and what this situation is doing is forcing people who will otherwise, people who have a spirit to spirit connection to deny your connection with that humanity because of some stipulation written on paper. You get what I'm saying? So, long story short, he wrote me the letter saying don't come into work. I was like, I'm good with that. and I still got the letter, and I'm not coming into work until they tell me to report to work. And I'm actually not even fired yet, believe it or not.
Oh no!
When was the last
They don't
time?
want to give you that unemployment.
Yeah, when was the last time you were at work?
The last time was October. I think it was October 1st, whatever day, either October 1st or October 2nd.
Of 2020 or 2021?
2021.
See, but that's the loophole too, because they'll turn around and you try to get that unemployment, and they'll say we didn't fire him. He chose not to work.
That's true, but you know what? And here's the thing too. Like I did fill out that unemployment shit, but yo, they gave me wings, bro. And really, unemployment right now for me is like, yo, I'm relying on the system. I'm relying on the system to help me survive. Nah, I'm about being a man right now.
Yep.
I'm about standing on my own 2 feet. You know what I'm saying? Fuck y'all. Fuck your system. You know what I'm saying? I am all about beating the system right now. The system, I'm on God's system.
Yep. It's funny because I've never done unemployment. Even after I lost my jobs, I've done unemployment once, only because, you know, I was like, fuck it. And I was trying to do the comedy shit, and it was there. But every other time, whenever I lost my job, I never went to unemployment, dude. I found another job. I grinded.
I did unemployment once in my life, you know, and I did fill it out. I did fill out the form this time around because I'm like, yo, it's money, let me get it. But then, yo, I'm learning so much about just, you know, about contract law. I'm learning so much about benefits and privileges. And really, I don't want nobody to give me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm self-made. I'm God-made, in fact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm standing on God, and God has been, you know, feeding me literally in these days. So
no doubt.
You know what I mean?
No
so
doubt.
I'm like, I'm not even attacking that unemployment again. You know, I'm just waiting for my moment where, you know, they gotta face me, because they're gonna have to face me. I don't care. They're gonna have to face me. They're gonna have to fess up to what was done and rectify the harm that was done to me and everybody else like me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, I love to hear you talk, man. People
So-
wonder why I am. People wonder why I am the way I am. This is why I am. This is why I came up with minds like this. I roll with warriors.
That's
Nothing
right.
but warriors coming up, man.
Bro, I'm looking at you. Don't look at me. I'm looking at you, bro.
Shit.
So when did you actually?
Iron sharpens iron, my brother. Iron sharpens iron, my brother. That's what I'm saying, man. You know, and
when did you actually get let go? Like, when did they so he gave you that letter?
They
right?
actually haven't let me go. So they have me, which is, you know, it's a play on words. It's a semantics game. It's they put me on a leave of absence without pay, right?
Okay.
But I'm technically still employed with the Department of Education, and I'm not getting a check.
Yeah, because they basically just want you to quit, right? That's what they're going for. They just want.
Well,
you
they want me to sign away my rights. They have these stipulation, these clauses. One says, you know, because they're technically still giving me health benefits, right?
Okay.
Now, if you I already told you, like, I'm all about holistic remedies, so you know I don't even mess.
You don't
with
really use that.
I don't use my health benefits either, man. Ever. Yeah. I'm about to shut that shit off.
Right.
Like, I never use it.
It's only good if you get shot, stabbed, shit like that. You want to die.
But even then, you just go to the ER.
Right. That's true too,
man. Look, I could give you. You want some wisdom on doctors, dog? Unpaid doctor bills don't affect your credit. People pay attention.
And especially, you don't even got to give them your Social Security. You don't got to give them that stuff. You write down whatever you want to write down on that form.
Dude, they still trying to collect for that vasectomy. They're still trying to collect for my vasectomy. I only paid for the left nut. I told them they should have made me pay for both of them because I'm not giving back the right one. You know what I'm saying? And they still keep trying to get it. And guess what? My credit is up there 760 or something, 740.
Right.
It doesn't affect your credit, people.
Right. So a lot of things, and this is what I'm learning about. A lot of things is games and it's semantics. It's a play on words. Like, you don't really need their healthcare. You don't need it. And like you said, if you have an emergency, go into the emergency room. When I go into the emergency room, I give them fake information all the time. Fake information, you know. So
allegedly.
Yeah, so I was talking to my buddy last night. He works for an insurance company in New Jersey, and Florida, where I live, has the highest insurance rates out of anywhere. But Florida, unlike almost every other state, you can actually sue your insurance company here, and you can't do that in New Jersey. So the rates and the premiums are super high because, like, if the insurance company does like one or two things like wrong, even in your contract, you can go after them. But you can't do that everywhere in the U.S. So what that does is jack up the rates. So they make it seem like you need them for shit, when you really don't, and they're creating the demand. It's the same thing with all the health.
And I mean, the truth of the matter is, if you saved all the money that you're paying them, at one point I was paying like close to $300 a week for my insurance.
Wow.
And that was like a
for your health insurance.
Yeah, it was a family plan though, but it was like $300 a week. It was costing me.
Mm-hmm.
I never used the amount of money that I put into that to go to the doctors.
That's what I'm saying.
Never.
And it's all the medicine that you get. Like I remember my parents always saying that we had such a good prescription plan, but all these prescriptions that they give you, they don't cure anything. They just mask whatever symptoms you're having. None of it fixes any of the problems.
And if you got kids, and if you got kids, they're gonna give your kids Tylenol or they for everything. They're gonna give them Tylenol, cold and flu Tylenol, and all that does is suppress.
Very expensive Tylenol.
Yeah, and all it does is suppress symptoms. It doesn't cure anything. So wow,
very expensive, dude. They did a study on these insurance fucking companies, man. Do you know that if you get a sling, a fucking those blue slings with the white fucking, them shits are like $600 if you get it in the hospital. If you go to Walgreens and get your own, $7.
Gee, I don't know
$7, dude. If you go to Walgreens and get your own, but if you get it from the hospital, they're gonna charge you like $600 fucking dollars, and then they're sitting there and they're like. That's why our shit is up. The reason why that shit is so up, they keep robbing us and stealing and fucking all this and jacking up these fucking prices. That's why it's up. It's up because they can put it up.
Yeah, bro.
That's why it's up. Why is the gas up? Because they can put it up. They're like, fuck you, motherfucker. It's up because I can.
Look,
and you're gonna pay it.
I got a verse in the song that it goes, every summertime raise them, wintertime they erase them. That's what they do with the gas prices. Pay attention. Every summer, the gas prices go up. Never fails. Don't believe this Ukraine war shit. That's some bullshit. This is why I am who I am, because I done caught the government in so many lies. Look, if they say left, I go right. If they say stand still, I run like hell.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Don't trust them. Don't trust them. Yo, government is the real enemy. I'm telling you right now, government is everything that you think you believe, even if you're not sure, just don't believe it.
Yep.
Just wait for the truth to come out. Everything you think you believe, trust me, take my word for it. If you think this is true, they taught you this and this is true, don't believe it. It's a lie.
Exactly.
It's a lie.
Now, this podcast won't get played on any fucking bro.
Not at all, man. Not at all.
Look.
We've talked about it on this show before. If you want to look at like just the mire of the government, you can look at opioid addiction, legalizing pills. Then they're suing pharmaceutical companies for the shit, and there's just massive insurance fraud all over the place. They charge people like I remember some places I would look at these receipts and they would charge like your medical your insurance company like $500 for a piss test. $500.
Let me hit you in the head with something that might be, I don't know how y'all gonna receive this, but basic shit. Y'all ready for this? Read this. The Constitution says, right? And when I read this as a kid, or even as an adult, I'm a licensed social studies teacher. This meant nothing to me. The Constitution, which is Article 1, which deals with all the lawmakers, right? Article 1, Section 10. It says that Congress shall make. It says no title of nobility shall be granted by the United States, right? Right? No title of nobility shall be granted by the United States. Now you might be like, well, what the fuck is a title of nobility? Right? Now, do you know that there's case law? A lot of this shit is case law. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. That your driver's license gives you a privilege to do what?
Operate a motor vehicle.
Drive.
Right.
And operate a motor vehicle.
In fact, if you look up the term driver is somebody employed to operate a coach or whatever, right? Which means, one, when you get in your car, you're actually not even a driver because who hired you to go to the grocery store?
Right. Yep.
Nobody hired you to go to the grocery store. So in fact, you're not employed to drive that car. You are simply traveling, right? But yet, and also, the fact that you have a driver's license, that in and of itself is a title giving you a privilege to do something.
Yes.
So the Constitution said we can't give you no title of nobility. And just to make it make sense to you, Well, the nobles, if you look at old English back in those days, the nobility, they had the privilege of sitting in the king's court. Meanwhile, the paupers and the regular people, they couldn't just enter into the king's court. So your driver's license in and of itself is unconstitutional, but they would never tell you that. So they're not even supposed to fucking stop you and ask you for no driver's license because you are not, the Constitution says that they can't make no law. They can't issue no title of nobility. So why are you asking me for this title that gives me a privilege to drive? And yo, there's case law that supports what I'm saying. If you want to look up city of Salina versus Wesden, you'll see that what I'm saying is not fucking lies.
Yeah, what you're saying, it's we talk about it on the show all the time. It's all really about perspective. You know, I say the same thing about cars. Like, why do I? All right, so I gain my income, right, and my income is first taxed on the business owner. The government takes a cut before I even get the money. Then the money comes to me, and depending on what state I live in, I have to pay federal tax and then state tax. And then I go buy a vehicle, which I have to pay tax on the sale of that vehicle. Then I have to pay to get it registered. Then I have to pay to get it insured, right? And these are all things that I have to do under my own volition, you know?
And the fact that you already paid taxes on the money you're receiving, right, and then you have to pay tax again for some shit that you want. So you triple, quadruple.
And about 90% of your money is paid in taxes.
And not to mention that the fuel that I get, right, I have to pay, you know, it's all taxed before it even gets to the pump. Once it gets to the pump, then the state takes their cut, then the federal government takes their cut, and now I'm paying for fucking tolls all over the place.
Oh my God!
Just to get around to make the money.
God,
and
dude!
You understand why that is, and this is all some new shit that I'm being privy to. Is that there's no such thing as money. We in a debt system. Everything is a debt. That money that we look at right here, all of this shit. This is a promissory note. It's a promissory note, which means it's a promise to pay. So it's actually not money.
And it's only good as long as the current government we have still stands. And as soon as that crumbles or cracks, all of it's fucking worthless. All of our USD is worthless.
No, it's only worth what it's worth because we believe it.
Because we say it.
Right. Yeah, but that's true with everything though. I mean, humans, as we've lived for probably 100,000 years, have traded things based on the value it is to the person who needs it. That's how it'll always be, you know? Like if you need to eat, you'll trade something to get that food. And however hungry you are will depend the value that you put on it.
The only real currency is your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. That's the only real currency, your energy. You wake up in the morning, you got strength to get up and go sweep the leaves in your front yard. That's energy. That's what you spending. That's really what you spending. So if you hire me to sweep your front yard, right? And there was a bunch of leaves on it. I went out, I swept that yard. Now there's no leaves. I spent energy to do that. You gave me $25, which is paper. You gave me nothing for the energy that I gave you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were kicking this the other day, which is basically like if people decided, like he says, to exchange energy. In other words, I go do his lawn.
Yep.
He's a plumber. I did my energy. He owes me his energy. If he's a plumber, now when my shit fucks up, my plumbing fucks up, I call him up. He comes and does my plumbing.
Energy.
Why?
For
because
energy.
He's paying me for the energy that I gave him when I did the leaves and trimmed his hedges and did all that shit.
Yeah.
So if people decided to use that as trade, you know what I'm saying? Then that's actually more valuable than the shit that we get. You know, I spoke to
currency, yo. That's real currency. When you plug your laptop into the wall, you getting current. That's currency. And that laptop comes on, that computer comes on, or it gets charged. Why you think when you go into every time you see something happens in the court, let's say, you know, they want to convict you or something, they call it a charge. They charging your energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're charging your energy. You go into the courtroom, they're like, yo, what's the charge against this body? The body exhibits energy and you got to pay them. So if you can't pay them with money, you're going to pay them with your actual energy. Oh, you robbed the bank? Okay, what's the charge? The charge is whatever it is. I lock him up, lock that body, lock his energy up. And we got to pay attention to this shit, yo. They've been bamboozling us for a very, very long time, bro. We got to understand what it really is. Like they know this from the jump street. You know, a lot of this goes into like, when you look at your bills and shit, you see that you are a corporation your body, your physical body stands as surety for a corporation, for a debt-based system right now. You know what I mean? And we all play into this shit. That's why when you look at your bills and shit, like my uncle was telling me about this for years. When I look at my bills, you know, this shit, it says, it gives an all cap name. That's not your real name. That's not my name. That's not what my mother named me. But that's what they're using to charge, because.
Now, when you say that's not your name, what do you mean by that?
Meaning that, well, we got, like I said, we got many names, right? We got many.
Yeah,
names,
I've gone by many names.
right? So my pops, he in the room right now. When he come into the room, he called me son, right? That's my name, right? And this is biblical. When you if you look into the Bible, Jacob was called Israel. When you look at Peter was Simon. God named him Peter. Saul became Paul. So name identifies who has control, who has authority over you. Your mom called you son. She has a motherly authority over you. You get what I'm saying? You call your father, or I call my father Pops. He has a motherly authority over him. I have a fatherly authority over him, or he has a fatherly authority over me, and vice versa. So the name that we use identifies the lawful jurisdiction, the lawful control in that relationship. So when you look at these all cap names, that's a corporate jurisdiction. In fact, when you look at all of the court cases coming up, I don't care if it's murder, and I'm learning this from other people, so don't even make it seem like I'm smart. But when you look at all of the cases, it all has a UCC code, a uniform commercial code attached to it. Right? Even murder has a uniform commercial code attached to it. Why? Because that person that's being charged is a corporation, not a human being. You feel what I'm saying? So the reality is like, your name only applies to the jurisdiction that's over you right now. So G, when you see me, you be like, yo, what up, Sim? What up, Mo? Because that's the relationship, that's the jurisdiction of our relationship. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't go to G and be like, yo, what up, my son? I mean, I could, because, you know, it's a term of endearment, right?
Yeah.
But like, if I just met you and I'm trying to get a loan from you and I go, hey, son, can I have this? You're going to be like, yo, I'm not your son.
Yeah. There has to be a thing of love to
right,
earn that.
There's no identified jurisdiction for you to call me son. So names are important. We think names are irrelevant. So, and even how you if you look at certain things, like, and I just learned this today, if you go to if you look up UCC code, like UCC 1, which is these are secure party creditors. So for example, if you have a house, right? You have a house and you took out a loan for that house. The mortgage company has a lien on that house because you got to pay them the money that they claim that they gave you, right? But here's the issue.
You said that they claimed that they gave you.
Right, because
I ain't never seen it.
Right, I ain't never seen no money
in my hand.
Exactly. They ain't give you no money in their hand, but they say you owe them this money. But here's how it works. If you spell the name incorrectly, so for example, you got case law where they're fighting because somebody put spaces in front of the INC dot. Between I and C, you put a space. The person who has a claim to that lien can't collect that lien because that name is spelled wrong. If you ever did incorporation and you incorporated the name with too many spaces in front of the dot, that will be a different name. So if you put a capitalized letter versus lowercase letter, all of these things is relevant to identifying who has claim to the secured instrument. So when we look at these names right now, we go, oh, that's me. That ain't you, son. It's an illusion of you. Yo, they've been lying.
And let me tell you something, dude. Let me tell you something real quick, man. I love talking to you. I knew that this was going to be a deep fucking show today. I was so excited to do it. You have been dropping some wisdom that I'm learning, and I love when I learn. And I'm so glad that you said vice versa. Because had you said vice versa, all the wisdom you was kicking to me would have went out the motherfucking window right there. I ain't gonna lie, there's nothing worse than when I hear a motherfucker dropping some shit and then they go vice versa. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that he said that, my heart exploded when he said that. And that was a while ago that you said that, and I didn't even let it go. I was just absorbing everything you said after that. Because I'm like, yeah, give me this wisdom, because obviously you know the basics, so I can listen to your deeper shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh my God, dog. You just blew my head with that shit.
Yo, it's crazy, man. My head is being blown every day. I sit down and read these things. I'm just like, yo, it's crazy. And this is the spiritual war, though. This is the spiritual war that, you know, we've been sitting in these churches and we've been told about these spiritual war, but they don't really understand what the spiritual war is. No. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me hit you in the head with this. Habeas corpus, right? Habeas corpus means to produce the body. Corpse is body, right? So when they give us these names, these all caps names, we are a corporation, a dead entity. A corporation is a dead entity. So when you go, so when they put a charge against you, unless you, or let's say you got a warrant or you got a summons, listen to the word summons. They're not summoning lowercase Gary. They're not summoning you. They summoning the dead, because they're summoning your all caps name, which is a dead corporation. So when you see that judge, yo, it's a seance, my dude. When you go into the court, the judge got the black robe on and they just summoned you into the court with that piece of paper. And they're not actually speaking to your body. They're speaking to a dead version of you that's not alive. That corporation is not alive. This is a spiritual war, my G.
No doubt. What's crazy is all that shit you kicking is true, but if you pull that shit in the court, they're gonna be like, yeah, send his ass to jail.
Now, my dude, you know how to, again, the Bible says you got to study and and show yourself approved.
Approved, yes.
So you can't go in the courtroom on some bullshit. Like I wouldn't go in the courtroom right now because I'm still studying. But believe it or not, you can go into the courtroom with this wisdom. You know what I'm saying? After you've studied and understand what's going on and resurrect your life. You know what I'm saying?
See, I also believe, dog, that if they want to put you in, they're going to put you in.
That's a fact.
No matter how much, and that's the thing, like even with taxes, when we were talking about taxes, man, taxes is illegal, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't constitutionally fucking allowed.
I wouldn't say that. Taxes are actually legal.
Nah, man. I listen, I'm with state taxes. I'm not with
look, Article 1 of the Constitution gives Congress the right to levy taxes.
Yeah,
right?
But isn't it supposed to be that we're supposed to get taxed right now in times of war?
And that's the thing. So no, again, I have.
But then again, we stay in war, so
right.
I guess I should just shut up with that one.
I have a very limited understanding, but I can tell you that corporations could be taxed, and they're supposed to be taxed. I mean, how they're taxing it might be illegal, but taxes in and of itself is not.
Yeah, taxes in and of itself. Yeah, I'm talking more about how they're taxed.
Yeah, how they tax. It could be illegal, yes.
Yeah.
But
there's people that people that know they shit. There's people that know they shit and they ain't paying what we paying in taxes.
Yeah, but you don't even really have to know your shit, bro. Like in the situation that you're in, right? You're a comedian, right? You're a 1099 contractor, whatever. You can write off a whole bunch of shit and you won't pay any taxes. You just have to.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you just have to manage.
You
just have to manage your numbers right. But this goes to what Mo was saying. I mean, we really live in a capitalist society, and everything is a business. Mm-hmm. Your family, all of your operations, it's all transactional from top to bottom, and you can't have any of this, really faith or spirituality mesh with it. The two things just don't really work together.
They actually do. We just can't see it. They do. We just can't see it. Everything has a spiritual basis first. Mm-hmm. Everything has a spiritual basis first. Yep. We don't see it. Many of us, we're too caught up in comforts of the world to really understand how the spiritual aspect of it really works. And trust me, the powers that be, the the keepers of the system, they understand the spiritual aspect of these things more than I do. They completely understand it, which is why words are important, which is why, they play with words. They give you these words like driver and traffic. They give you a traffic ticket. You think you're stuck in traffic. You're not stuck in traffic. Traffic has to do with commercial movement. Okay, so they give us these words and we're saying these things, giving it life without understanding the meaning of it. That's all spiritual. God said, he says, there was a word first. How's it go? There was the word and the word was with God. The word became flesh. You know what I'm saying? And made his dwelling among us. That's not just, we think about Christ, yes, but the words are very important. What you speak is your reality. It is your consciousness. In fact, whatever you speak is a result of your internal spirituality. If you're not in tune with yourself, you're speaking a lot of shit. A lot of people out here saying things like, oh, I don't know why this is happening to me. It's happening to me because what's going on inside of you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You got to control what's going on inside of you first.
Which is the only control.
When I walk outside in the street, I'm never scared.
Yeah,
I'm never scared. I walk around with my head high. I don't care what's going on. It could be mayhem. Yo, I remember one time it was my prom after party in Brooklyn, Utica, at this place called Rendezvous. They started shooting up. I saw them shooting up. Everybody running in this direction. Me, I'm running the opposite direction because I know if I'm afraid, I'm gonna run right into a bullet. But if I'm collected and I'm calm, I'm gonna see where they shooting and I'm gonna stop when I see them and move when they gone. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
You got the same way, though. With that, bro.
I remember coming home on the bus one day. We're coming down 21st Street just past Queensbridge, and all you hear is pop, 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 pop. And everybody in the bus hits the floor. I'm the only motherfucker standing looking out the window to see what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? I always fucking look. I don't give a shit. And I've gotten caught in a couple of like shootouts that had nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But you got to see what's going on. The person who keeps their head while everybody else is losing theirs.
Right. And you got to understand yourself. And of course we all got things we got to work on, but your spiritual self determines your physical self.
Yeah. Yeah. What most people don't realize is all the shit going on, all the problems they got, the shit going on. It's internal, man. You're the one that holds the key to getting through that. You know what I'm saying? It's all internal. If you addicted and you bugging out and, that's you. There's something going on in you. You need to question why you're making those decisions, man, because it's in you.
Right. And people think like, and we're all, this is an agricultural theology, I like to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think, all right, I'm gonna change my mind today. And I'm gonna walk out today with a renewed mind. And today I'm gonna get the job that I want to get. No, homie, you gotta bury that and let that grow.
Yep.
It's like a seed. You don't put a seed in the ground today and get an apple tree the next moment. Yeah. So you got to put that, whatever that is that you're dealing with, if it's your confidence, you got to put that confidence in the spiritual soil. Let it sift a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let the water run on it. You know what I'm saying? Let some sunlight get it.
Yeah. People think that because they say I'm on change, that shit's going to happen.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
And that's not the way it works. Like there's simple things in life that can make your life. So I'm pretty sure you've read the 4 Agreements. Have you read the 4 Agreements?
I read the 4 Agreements. Yes.
I'm pretty sure you. So there was a part in it where they're talking about one of the agreements being don't take anything personal.
That's a fact.
And they said that alone, if you can just master not taking anything personal, even when it's being personally done to you, when you realize that doesn't say about you, that says about the person doing it. That's their issue. If a person's talking shit about you, they got an issue. You're not the one with the issue. If a person's trying to bring some sort of scam or harm on you, they're really doing. And they said that it's so easy to go, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to take anything personal. But yet we've been trained all our lives to take things personal. We've made those agreements in our mind already. And it's getting worse. Someone does something that you feel is personal to you, you're supposed to take that personal.
I got one of my catchphrases right now telling everybody, your feelings be lying to you.
All the time. And
You know
they
what I'm
said
saying?
that, you know, it takes time to master that.
Yeah.
So what they said was you need to write that shit down and put it someplace where you're going to see it every day. And I normally don't do that shit, but I did it. I wrote that shit down. Don't take anything personal. I put it right on my fridge where I know I'm going to see it every day.
Yep.
And when shit starts to get to me, especially out here, Brian, you know, the shit that goes on, I look at that shit and I go, whoo, let me pull back a second and relax, because the truth is this says more about them. They going through their shit.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with me.
Look,
I'm still going to shine. No one can stop me from being the best me I can be. The only one that can stop me from doing that is me.
that's a fact. That's
You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning to not take
You can't take it personal.
And it's not going to happen overnight. I've been learning this shit. I read that book the first week of lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I say lockdown. I hate when people say quarantine. Quarantine's for sick people. I was healthy as a motherfucker.
Right.
I was high as a motherfucker too, but I was healthy as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But I read that book the first week of lockdown. So now we're looking at what, 2 years ago?
Yep, 2 years ago.
Still haven't mastered it.
I mean, the truth is
Because I'm 51 and
Mhm.
for 49 years, I made the agreement to take things personal. So of course, I'm not going to get over that in one day just because I said, oh yeah, that makes sense what he's saying.
You gotta bury it. You gotta water it. You gotta let some sun on it. You know what I'm saying? And then even when it starts to grow, even when you start to see the examples of what you bury, you start to see it growing up. A little bit of the leaves gonna rotten it off. You gotta prune it, cut them off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cut it off. And then, you know, that take it personally, you start seeing it grow up. It becomes a tree. You still gotta nurture it and take care of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I see things, yo. You know, that's how I see things, bro. You want to say something,
another
brother?
thing I've been learning to master in my own personal life, because I also feel like people, if you want change, man, listen, I always say movements, they bring attention to situations. But only through changing yourself does that movement become an application that becomes real. In other words, the movement will bring attention to it, but that doesn't change nothing unless each individual starts to change the way they think.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the other thing I've been, you know, trying to work on myself, because that's how we change the world. The way you change the world is you change yourself.
That's
and
right.
become a vessel of love to the people around you, so that they start to change themselves.
That's right.
And they start to touch the people around them. That's what really changed the world. In reality, it's a slow process, but that's really it, you know. And I've been realizing for myself, because like I said, when you start to do these things, it becomes discouraging because you fall and you see yourself doing the things that you used to do. But I'm starting to realize that, like, when I'm losing it, it's never too late to say, ooh, I'm going to stop this shit. I don't have to play shit out to a certain point. The minute I realize I'm losing it, I'm learning to go, whoa, I'm losing it. Boom, I'm gonna stop this shit right now. I don't have to go another 2 hours, 3 hours, 2 days, 3 days being aggravated. I used to make that agreement. And once I'm pissed. But now I'm starting to change the agreement in my mind. My mind is, just because you pissed don't mean you got to stay pissed. Any second you could go, fuck this. I'm not gonna be pissed.
Yep.
Yo, can I share something real quick?
You can share anything you want,
Brian. I know you
and
want.
You don't gotta be quick.
It says, and this is from what's called the Master's Key. It says, we cannot express power that we do not possess. The only way by which we may secure possession of power is to become conscious of power. And we can never become conscious of power until we learn that all power is from within. All power is from within. So if you want to change the world, like you said, G, you got to start from within.
Yep.
But Brian, I was cutting you off. Go ahead, bro.
No, man, that was extremely true, man. I mean, I think about that, and you can't give something to somebody unless you have it. You know, it's got to come from inside of you, or you know, you're not gonna have anything to give.
That's a fact. You know, and you know, when I look at myself in this situation that I'm in, you know, I'm on this unpaid leave, 5 months, going on 6 months now, and I'm like, I sit back and I'm like, wow, yo, like my mortgage is like over $3,500 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like my bills in of itself, monthly, my bills are like $7,000.
Yep.
A month. You hear what I'm saying? Like I you know, my job as a teacher, I was making over 100,000. you know, and I was still working a second job.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm looking at, wow, when this whole all started, you know, I was in deep, this is why I say everything is spiritual. I was in deep prayer, fasting about my decision because I knew who I was. And I said, yo, God, help me through this because I know I'm a hard-headed dude and I'm gonna make a decision over just being hard-headed. But this can't be a hard-headed decision because I got like 7 other people depending on me, you know, to keep this business of life afloat. And the reality is that what I learned is that God had already prepared me for this. God had already taken away the baggage that would have held me down prior to the whole scamdemic. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm able to literally, like, I'm living. I'm not going to work. There's no 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this little, like, for supplemental money. I'm doing Uber, but for the most part, the core of my money is coming back from my house. And God he prepared this house for me to take care of itself before they fired me. I didn't know this shit was coming.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that, you know, we got to be able to bury those seeds of fruitfulness before the time arrives. We can't plant a seed for the summertime in summertime. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be able to say, all right, let me do this now. I might not understand the value of this work right now, but maybe a year from now, you'll be like, man, oh shit. Because I could tell you, like 2 years ago, you know, I was getting rid of people outside of my house. A year ago, you know, I was physically renovating my place myself.
I was following you when you were doing that.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And then all of a sudden now, this moment, so what I did 2 years ago is feeding me today. You get what I'm saying? Yep. So we gotta be farmers out here. We gotta start planting seeds today for next year, for 5 years from now.
See, but you know what it is too, though, man? See, here's the thing. People will listen to you speak and they'll be like, oh, easier said than done. And I hate when people say that shit because they don't realize, you know, like I remember my son said that shit to me the other day because I said to him, dude, don't worry, things will get better. You got to do your time at that job to pay your shit. Hey, I'm doing the podcast. Everdeen, come here, mommy. Good girl. They fucking dogs. I hate dogs.
They're so stupid.
She's telling you somebody coming.
And she lies because I go and I look and there's nobody there. She's a liar. You know what I'm saying? And then one day someone's going to be there and I'm going to be like, get away from the door, and it's going to bust open.
You should get a government job, bro.
Nah, but here's the thing, man. See, what you got to understand here, though, is that this, you know, the wisdom that this man speaks and being able to make the decisions he does, it comes from a place of faith. Mm-hmm. If you don't have faith, you can't make those decisions. When you don't have faith, then I have no choice. You understand what I'm saying? People who say they have no choice, I had no choice. It's because you have no faith. Mm-hmm. And that's the reality. I'm ready to lose whatever I lose. Because like he said, right. I've been trained to have nothing. I've said this before on the podcast. I've been trained to have nothing. I've been trained to live hand to mouth. Right. And I still look good. And I'm still happy and I'm still doing my shit.
Let's talk about
that comes from a place of faith. In anything, you have to have faith in something.
And even yourself, man.
Faith. You have to have faith in the loss as well, because let me show you, like, I'm going back to the whole idea of farming. You can't have a seed in your hand and love the seed so much that you're not willing to lose that seed. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to bury that seed. So whatever you want to keep, whatever in this world that you want to keep, you must be willing to lose. That goes with anything. If you want to be an investment mogul, you must be willing to take that little bit of money that you have and put it somewhere to be lost in order to keep it. Even in your relationship, you got to be willing to lose that relationship if you want to keep it.
Yep.
That's my motto in everything. If you want to keep something, what you want to keep, you will lose.
Yep.
That you're willing to lose, you will keep. So for me, I'm like, all right, take the job.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm gonna keep living.
Yo, dude, that's exactly how I always feel. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. When they let me go from my job, they let me go. I was there. I was about to be 20 years. I was there 19 years, 11 months, and 3 weeks. They really didn't want to give me that watch. But when they let me go, it's funny because, like, I left, and like I said, this could only come from a place of faith, and faith comes from looking at the track record. I know what God has done for me because I had nothing, and I somehow always managed to get by. When I got my house during the subprime loan.
Right.
When everybody else was losing theirs, I kept mine.
Yeah.
My mortgage was $4,000 a month, just the mortgage. So I know what you speak of, dog.
Yeah, son.
You know, my electric, $500. My gas, and that's without even putting anything on. That's staying cold in the winter and hot in the summer. Don't be turning on no ACs. We can't afford it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I lost my job, I didn't even think about it, dog. I went home. I thought I was in shock, but really I was in faith because I knew I had nothing to worry about. And guess what? I had nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
I wound up getting a job doing construction. Then I opened the restaurant. Then I started getting into comedy. And then I started doing this comedy shit. Boom. Never looked back. And I kept thinking I was going to wake up because this is what I did for 20 years. I kept thinking I was going to wake up and get dressed for work and then be like, oh shit, I ain't got a job. I kept waiting for it to like pop in like, dude, you ain't got no job.
Nah, man, you just got free.
I got free, dude. All they did was open the cage of an eagle.
Bro, that's where we at right now.
Because we get so caught up. How many people out there, you get into a job and you said that job, I'm only going to be here for a little while.
That was
I
me.
did that. That little while was 20 years.
That was me.
That little while was 20 years. You know, we get caught up in the comfort. And I get it.
That's what they give us. They give us benefits and privileges. We get comfortable from the benefits and privileges of this system. And everybody who's like, oh, I didn't have a choice. Yeah, you just want to keep them benefits. You know what I'm saying?
You just want to stay comfortable. I talk shit. You know, I'm a rebel. I talk shit. Right. But I'm upset that this shit is going on in my lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I was comfortable. I don't want to fight nobody. I wish they leave us just the fuck alone. I wish the fucking people would leave us alone and let us live.
Word.
You know, when people talk about good presidents and bad presidents, I feel like they all follow, look, left wing, right wing, I worry about the bird. The bird's in the middle. The bird is the agenda. Those wings are just going to move that agenda along, which is the bird, and the bird got the beak, and the beak's what eats you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at presidents. Was I allowed to make money? Was I allowed to make money? You understand what I'm saying? Because the laws of this land, no matter how the presidents change them, ain't to benefit me.
Nope.
They don't make laws to benefit me. They don't give a fuck about me.
Servant status. Keep you in a servant status, bro.
They don't give a fuck about us. And guess what? I don't give a fuck about them either. So we have an understanding. You understand what I'm saying?
We good, yo.
So I look at presidents. Was Trump a good president? I made a lot of money with Trump. I made a lot of money with Trump.
Till the end, bro. Until the fucking end.
Yeah, but that's because they wanted to make sure he didn't stay in there, whatever the case may be. I don't care. I'm not a political dude. Because whoever they put in there, they knew was going to be in there anyway.
Trump, Obama, to me, it's just a different side of the same coin, bro.
Obama, I had to struggle to keep my house.
Heads, tails, man.
Obama, I had to struggle to keep my house. People talk about Reagan. Man, Reagan, say what you want. I made money. I was making money. And I understand laws were created that fucked us up in the end, but I always look at the fact of, can I make money? Because I don't give a fuck about them the same way they don't give a fuck about me. I'll obey your laws. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to conform to shit that, we're called as human beings to fight unjust laws, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Forget about it as Americans, because we spoke about that before, man. There are no real America's a company now. It's not a country.
United States Corporation Company. That's what we in right now. United States Corporation Company, man. The United States of America is the geographical land that the Constitution was built on. But we are in the United States. Yo, I'm telling you, you look at.
No, I got to do the research because there's a book written about when the government was turned over.
Yeah, I believe the date was 1871 or something like that.
It was bought out. when it was bought out, you know, because it's like you said, man, you know, if our government is borrowing money and you're not leery about that, then there's a problem. Because if you owe me money, what can you do to me?
Fact.
You understand what I'm saying?
There is no money.
So when our government, exactly, man. When was the last time you got paid?
There is no money, man.
Cash.
It's all debt. It's all debt. Understand that the money, the dollar bill that we looking at, that's a problem. First of all, the Federal Reserve Bank. First of all, that's not even a government agency.
It's
that's
not.
It's
a privately owned
entity.
And
man. Also, while the IRS audits, and they issue Federal Reserve notes, right? This paper money. The IRS will audit you and me, but the IRS has never audited the Federal Reserve.
They can't.
No, really?
Come on, son.
They can't. Wait a minute. You want to come check my records? Motherfucker, I'm the one giving you money.
Exactly.
Your whole program wouldn't be operating if I wasn't giving you that money, motherfucker. So you ain't going to look at my records.
So
you don't want to look at my records.
It's like this. There's a promissory note, right? So the government, United States Corporation Company, took out a loan from the Federal Reserve. So what did they use as collateral? They used all of, not the gold, all of the property and the land, the territory, and human beings. We are the surety. We are what they use for them to print that money. We're going to print this money, and instead, in exchange for that money, we're going to give you the land and the people. What are you getting out of that? Because this is why they tax you. They tax you to, in a sense, to pay back the printed money, which is becoming digital now, that the Federal Reserve Bank issued, the private Federal Reserve Bank issued to the corporation company of the United States.
Yo,
right?
Brian, I got a question. Bitcoin.
Yeah.
You get taxed on that?
Yeah, if you report it.
No, but I'm saying, do they?
Well, all right.
Is the government in Bitcoin now? Like, in other words, are they checking to see what everybody has?
Yeah, bro. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They treat it just like any other investment. So the way you can look at Bitcoin is just like, say you buy 100,000 Japanese yen or whatever the fuck, and then you hold it and then you sell it for a profit. Bitcoin's the same thing. It's just a taxable item, just like anything else.
So all you got to do is have it in that digital form. You don't even have to pull it out and put it into a bank or pull that money out to get taxed. You just have to have it.
I think they tax it once you cash it.
No, it's on the sale. It's on the sale.
Like, right. So once you, for example, if you deposit it into, once it moves from this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but once it moved from the Bitcoin account, right? It's kind of like the stocks. It's like stocks. Like if you have your stocks,
so you don't get taxed on stocks until you pull that money out.
Until you pull it out.
Correct.
Okay.
Then it becomes
like
you
that.
report it and you
report it.
Right.
But the thing with
I report everything.
Yeah, the thing with Bitcoin is there are apps that people have on phones that are tied all up into your shit, but there are also virtual wallets that you can have on like little USB cards, and you can do everything untraceably. You know,
man, I hate what this world has become.
Yeah. Well, man, I mean,
not that it was so great back in the day, but it definitely was a little more
understandable.
The Bitcoin and a lot of this other crypto and blockchain and that kind of technology is getting us back to what we were before surveillance. You know, this is the antidote to all this mass surveillance. But you have to be good at using computers, otherwise you're still going to get surveilled.
So this is what I thought. This is what I was thinking. Like Bitcoin was the mode to freedom, right? Financial freedom. But I feel like Bitcoin and all of the cryptocurrency has opened up the world to a different type of lie, which is like when you're looking at shit like the metaverse, which is coming out and digital property. Like imagine they're getting people to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on shit that you can't touch.
Yep.
You can't touch. You can buy Macy's in the digital world or buy whatever.
My son's probably spent over $1,000 on just his video game, buying suits and buying different characters.
Understand. And now they got you wanting to put on these fucking glasses. So you're gonna put on these glasses now. You sitting in this world and you looking at the money you spent or the property you spent your energy on because you work for whatever money you got, you work for that. So that's your currency. You took your currency, you put it in this invisible world now. Meanwhile, the world around you, the physical world, is being snatched from right under you. So I'm not sure. Like, yeah, I feel like
we were talking about that because you know what it is for most people is that the metaverse is a better world than their world.
How, Sway?
Yeah, but I'll tell you how, Sway. How, Sway? How, Sway? I'll tell you how. It's like this. I'm gonna tell you how right now. See, on Instagram, right? I'm a star.
Right.
People go to my Instagram, they look at my lines, coming to the shows to see me, and they look at my shows and my pictures, and they go, "This motherfucker's a star," and they ain't wrong. Right. The star doesn't necessarily equivalent to what you think a star is. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still struggling hand to mouth just to get my bills paid.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But on Grand Theft Auto, when I go online, I got 9 cars. I got 2 money-making dispensaries. I got a weed dispensary. You know what I'm saying? I spend freely at the casinos because you could just go to the casino and hang out and play at the casino. And I'm sitting there and I realized I was on this machine for 6 hours doing nothing with my real life. And then I'm wondering why that life is better than my real life. Oh, well, because I'm putting more into that life. What am I putting into that life? My energy.
Currency. You putting currency into that life.
Yeah, currency, my energy. And they're keeping me at home, not going out there, not living this life. You know what I'm saying? And why? Because I got 10 cars on that shit. And when I crash it, boom, I go back to my garage, it's there again.
You gotta start looking at those two things separately though. Like the metaverse and all that is attached to it, and cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Like, yes, those two things relate to each other,
right?
But they serve separate purposes. I'm with you on the metaverse, but the thing with cryptocurrency is it's not controlled by the Federal Reserve, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the federal government. The federal government in the U.S. and every other government who has buying power can affect price, but they can't affect the volume of
right. But they can't affect perspective. And I think because I believe that the United States, right, and that's important. Everything is based on perspective. Everything. So once they influence the perspective, which is what they're doing, and I think they're coming out with United States is coming out with their own cryptocurrency that they will regulate. And, that will just affect, it affects the whole economy, which to me, the smart thing to do for me, and again, I'm no economist, I'm nobody special, but to me, the smart thing is to invest in what you can still touch and control, because once you put your resources, your energy in something that has an on and off switch, then somebody else could take it off the grid.
Hey man, I hate to tell you, but the US dollar has an on and off switch too. And it's just as fucking trigger happy as every other currency.
And if you notice, I never said the US dollar is not money. That's fiat money. It's fake money.
Yeah.
But so, you know what though?
What you can touch
is land. What you say, Bobby?
What you can touch is land, property. And you also need to understand what is your status of ownership, because
because the truth is, even if you own land, the government can take your land.
Yes, legally, unless you have what's called, which they don't tell us, there's a word that I've learned in this season called allodial title. And allodial title means that no one can come back and take this title from you. It's I'm not going to say the only, but it's the real free and clear. We have fee simple titles, which that, if I understand correctly, goes back to whoever can go back to the government eventually. But allodial title it means you fully own it. No one else owns it.
See, people, don't tell me you don't learn shit on my podcast, because I just learned the fucking bunch of shit. But going back to the thing you said before about controlling prices, what I feel people don't realize is we control prices.
We do.
We control prices, and people don't realize that. Like right now, the gas prices are going through the roof, right? Mm-hmm. No one realizes that if they were to allow themselves to be in discomfort
Yes.
for a couple of days,
Yep.
then we would get what we want. But it has to be a unified thought. The unified thought is, listen, we're not going to give all our money into paying. See, government's slick. They gave everybody this money, and just like me, everybody ran out and got cars. And then the minute we got cars, prices of gas just kept going up, and the prices of tolls doubled and tripled. So now I got a brand new car parked outside that I can't afford to drive. You know what I'm saying?
All we got to do is fast.
And if everybody was to be like, yo, $6 for gas, nah. Call work, boom, I'm not going to make it in today.
Gas price is too high.
You're not going to get paid for the day. Okay. But I'll be in, when it's get, boom. Everybody did that for 1-2 days. They have to sell their gas. If they see the people ain't going for it, they're going to have to lower their prices. That inflation shit, bullshit. I call bullshit on inflation. Why do prices go up? Because they can. Because they can.
They raise them.
Right now, boom. Right now, I could have a store and I could start selling sodas for $5.
See,
every other store could be like, yo, he raised his price to $5. We're raising our shit to $5 a can. And then they come up and they go, why did you raise your price to $5? Because I can, motherfucker. The gas went up. You paid it. So I'm going up. I got to pay that gas too. I got to call. It's all bullshit.
My belief is that if you want to change any sort of system, there has to be revolution, right? Like if you look at like Cuba or anything, like people are really focused on fixing the criminal justice system, fixing the economy, fixing gender law in America. And the only thing you can do is topple and start fresh. Fixing from within never works. And it's never worked in any government anywhere.
No.
Ever.
Anywhere.
It has to crumble and something else has to come in.
And be rebuilt.
No argument here.
The system can't be fixed. The system is broken.
It's already broken.
So it can't be fixed. What you have to do is
break it. It's broken.
It's broken.
You know what I mean? And they broke it. And we are the ones that many of the citizens I'm not gonna say citizens, the people of the land are the ones that could take it back. But our perspectives, our collective perspectives are all scattered into self.
Yeah. Well, see, I won't say that our government is genius, but I will say they're very smart at what they did. They made everybody comfortable enough to the point of, like I said, I don't want to go out there and fucking start revolting. Well, I don't want to do that shit, man. I got seasons of forensic files to watch.
It's benefits,
you know what I'm saying? It's like
benefits and privileges, man. Like, know.
But if I gotta fight, then I gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna push me into a corner, I will not just crawl into a ball and let you start stomping me, yo. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem, man, is that I feel like we've done an injustice to a lot of our children, man. We made them too comfortable. I know I did. My son gets any kind of sense of discomfort in the world is coming to an end. And I'm sitting there going, dude, like you trying to pay off your infinity. At your age, I was making sure that your sister was fed, your mother was fed, and you were on your way. You were on your way, dog. I had you coming. Can't talk to a motherfucker about stress that knows stress.
Right.
And people say, oh, you got, I understand every man's struggle is their own. I understand that, but I also feel like
everybody's biggest problem is their problem too,
Yeah. And like Tommy Chong said, when you don't got big problems, the small ones become big ones. So everybody's always going to have issues, Right. But that doesn't excuse anybody to act. Like, in other words, I feel like if anybody wanted to be a dick, I could be a dick. And I could back it up with reasons why I'm a dick. I could back it up. You'd be like, oh, I get it now. Now I know why you're a dick. But I chose not to be a dick. I can be a dick because I'm learning. But I chose not to be a dick, man. In general.
I feel you.
In general. Brian, why the fuck are you so fidgety, man?
I always am, dude. I'm thinking.
I know.
I'm writing something down because I'm thinking about it. That's how I don't forget anything.
You're giving me anxiety, man.
Well,
anxiety.
You're really in control.
There's certain words that I never even heard. Anxiety. Growing up, you ever heard anxiety?
Not really, actually. Growing up, I never heard words.
I never heard, man.
we were just we were in a perpetual state of anxiety growing up that we didn't have to.
That was
hear
just
the
called
words.
life.
Right. It's like seeing the globe. You know, we don't see the globe because we're in it.
Bars.
You know what I'm saying?
Fucking bars.
Word, but you know, look, man, this is I like to say this is the new world. Welcome to the new world. A lot of the people.
Well, they've been talking about it for years, and it's funny because before we were talking, you said when I said that back in the day it was more, and you said understandable, but looking now in hindsight, what I realized was, and this goes back to exactly what you were saying, they were just planting the seeds.
Yeah.
They were just planting the seeds, and those seeds were even being planted before our time.
Yep.
And when you look at it, when you follow it, when you follow that hole down, you'll see that they've been planting these seeds for a long time, you know? And that's why I say, I won't say they're genius as much as we are dumb. And I say we loosely because I don't mean me.
Nah,
but I will say we, because we've been fooled into getting comfortable and not wanting to be in discomfort. Motherfucker, you want to grow, then you got to be in discomfort. See,
look, I'm gonna say I was dumb.
I was dumb. I was.
Every day, I'm less
dumb.
I
was
and
dumb. In some ways, I might still be. Or not dumb, but ignorant.
Yeah.
I'm ignorant to things I don't know, and I speak on sometimes, you know, because I have a very strong opinion. And it's my ignorance that makes me adorable. I want a mug, motherfucker.
I think we gotta get them made. I think we gotta get them made somewhere else, man. I think we should just get them made and just start selling them online or something. Because these are
Dude,
fucking awesome, bro. I love it.
Yeah, shit is dope. And I want the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to get on top of that shit.
I think we're smarter now as a society, though. I think there's tons of misinformation out there, and that is by design. But there's also people like us who are accessing, you know, the right stuff and having conversations that we couldn't have with people before. Like before, it would have been regionally. We would have had to live near each other to have this kind of conversation. But now we can all be.
Yeah, I always talk about that. Right now, you're in Florida.
Like
we got Florida, Jersey, and New York being represented
all in one place.
Now.
Nah, you're right. I mean, in that respect, yes.
In that perspective, yes. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and say the internet, you know, the internet is like everything else. In theory, it's amazing.
But at the same time, I feel like the privileges that we received in this era, I feel like poverty is less noticeable, specifically in the American society, in the Western society. Poverty is less noticeable, but it's still, I think, even more prevalent than it was in the years before.
I mean, I was in Austin, Texas last weekend. Homeless there, man.
Yeah. Jeez. But today, even from being a school teacher, you see kids coming in with some of the most expensive gear on, some of the most like Jordans. Like when we were growing up, we couldn't afford Jordans. We couldn't afford those kind of sneakers. Nah. But every single poor child in Brooklyn has a pair of Jordans. They have a Louis belt. They have all of the things that
I'm guilty. I do a joke. I said my son learned to walk in Jordans. Why? Those little white walking shoes did the job for me.
Right. So we have more poverty, but it's hidden today. Because, like I outside of my house right here, we got like a little food pantry that in the beginning, when I put it up, I was like, this probably nobody's going to take it. But the food pantry stay empty. And, in this neighborhood, we got houses that's going for 1.2 point something million. You know what I'm saying? 2 point something million the houses are going for in my neighborhood. And you got people raiding the food pantry because they don't have food to eat. So something is off. There's
a lot of things that are off.
You know what I'm saying? Something's off. And we're living in a fictitious world. And this is why I agree when you said like the system has to be broken to put a new one in, because it's not sustained. It cannot continue to exist in this fashion.
It won't. It's really a matter of time. But when that time ticks is anybody's fucking guess. Well, it's gonna tick at some point because it's ticked for every other empire throughout the course of history. So our time in this country, it will tick. and it's going
Well,
to
they
stop.
say,
And if you compare the timing of the, if you look at, you want to call it the Western Empire, right? You want to call it that. It has existed shorter than every other major empires, and I feel like it's in a
50,
huh
250 years usually is
right
the course.
250 years. I feel like the Roman Empire lasted longer than that. The Persian Empire also did.
Yeah, they did, but their power was only for that period of time. Like the longer and shorter end. I'll send you something after the show.
Sure.
Talk about it. But go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you
No,
saying?
but I do feel like I think 250 when you say, of course, I'm always reading information to change my knowledge base. But what I'm saying now is that the Roman Empire and the Babylonian Empire and the Persian Empire, all of these empires that came before this present time, this present generation of leadership lasted longer than we did. And they, in my opinion, and I could be wrong on that, their territory, specifically the Roman Empire, their territory was very large. It was a vast empire. You know what I'm saying? The United States is empire or the Western Empire. I don't know. I mean, I think now with the introduction of this digital technology, the culture is expanding more. So, but at the same time, 250 years later, I feel like it's on a decline. So, will we last another 250 years? I doubt it. Will we last?
well, one thing I think is that, and I could be wrong, but that's all right because, I don't claim to know everything, but I feel like any great power, when they lost their morality, is when that power came to cease.
Talk about that, G. What do you mean lost morality? Talk about.
In other words, like when you look at America now, where's the morality of America now, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like scripture said, man, we'll call bad good and good bad. You know what I'm saying? We'll call righteous evil and evil righteous. And you see that going on now, just like boom, and listen, what a person does in their own home and shit like that, listen, I'm a freak. I don't give a fuck what you do, but I'm not out there, like, in other words, there has to be a moral compass to a society.
There's no modesty anymore.
That's the thing, of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, and I just feel like this country has definitely went in a direction of con si, con sa, anything goes and whatever, like it's all just, okay. When everything needs to be accepted, then there's something wrong.
Look, I'm gonna say it. One example of immorality in my opinion.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, one of the things they're trying to do, like I've mentioned it before, when you talk about like, let's just take something like pedophilia. They're trying to change the word. Remember, you looked it up that time. It was like such a nice word.
It was like minor attracted person.
Yeah.
That's what
they're trying to get that put in as a sexual preference, not a sexual preference, rather, but being no different than if you're gay. That's what they're trying to look at it as. In other words, it's a thing that's in me. It's what I am. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. When I was talking before about your feelings, we live in a world where feelings trump reality. Feelings lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Like a man could say, I feel like a woman, and he could do whatever science lets him do and become a woman. And a woman could say, I feel like I was born a man, and could do whatever science lets her do, and she becomes a man, right? But science, if you want to look, God is so intelligent that, we have X and Y chromosomes. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what kind of changes you do. The X, like, for example, in my body, I have the ability to give out an X and a Y, right? My daughter, though I gave her the X chromosome, my daughter has zero Y chromosomes in her body, right? The Y DNA is the male DNA. So if you dig up a skeleton right now, right, and all you see is the bones, you can't tell what was there. You can take a sample of that and detect whether that skeleton was only YX or XX. XX being female, YX being male, because the man has the ability to give the woman her chromosomes. What the Bible says, Adam took God took the rib out of Adam. Did he? Or did he take, because Adam had an X and a Y. God simply took the X chromosome out of Adam and gave Eve 2 X chromosomes. That's why Eve don't have no Y in her. So everybody said, what came first, the egg or the chicken? In this case, who came first, the man or the woman? Somebody's going to say the woman did. Nah, not really. Because the man is the one that had the X and the Y. Right? So God had to take the X out of the man to give to that woman. That's why that woman has no Y. She only has X because that's all God took out of the man to give to her. You know what I'm saying? But folks want to go around here saying like, yo, I feel like this. Your feelings lie to you. And that's where the morality is falling, because we are trying to circumvent what was done from the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying?
There's that thing going on right now with that swimmer at the University of Pennsylvania. You guys been following that?
The swimmer was like in the males. He was like ranked 43 or something like that, and then he became a transgender, and now he's ranked number 1, racing against the woman.
Yeah. Yo, that's all you got to do.
That's all you gotta do. Listen, I'm ready to get titties just for fucking more followers on TikTok. And I don't even think I'm a woman. I'm gonna be the first. You ready for this? I'm gonna be the first dude that identifies as a male. Like in other words, when they say, what do you identify as? I'm gonna say, well, what do you see when you identify me? And they're gonna say, I see a man with tits. And I'm gonna say, that's what I am. I'm just a man with tits. A lot of men have tits. Mine are just succulent. You know what I'm saying? And like,
all you gotta do is eat McDonald's and Burger King, bro. You'll be fine.
Nah, because I don't want saggy ones. I want nice, perky, like, I want the ones where dudes go, this dude's 100% man, but damn, look at those tits. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be like dudes. I want to make dudes uncomfortable. Because now we talk and having a conversation like this, but the whole time both of y'all are looking at my cleavage.
Very uncomfortable.
You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, man, I know this dude be going with ladies and shit, but damn, look at those tits. And you know, some dudes will be like, dude, I'm not gay, but could I suck your tit? And I'll be coming out the shower, like I'll be on tour, coming out the shower with the shit just wrapped around my body, the bottom half. I'll leave my tits out, making everybody uncomfortable.
You're not gonna wrap it up around the top?
In the summer, no bra. Walking
tank
around.
top, tank white beater.
Yeah, the white beater. With my Timbos.
You stupid, son. You stupid.
I don't know why everybody's so fucking caught up in what they identify as. Me personally, I don't want to be identified.
Bro.
I don't want you to remember me. I don't want to be identified, man. You know, something went on. Don't call me. I don't want to be identified.
For real.
I don't even like to leave my name.
It's a strange world, bro. It's a strange world. Who would have thought that this would happen in our time?
I was hoping it wouldn't.
Yo, when I was a kid, I was thinking that we will have flying cars by now. I was thinking flying cars.
I know, me too.
You know, airplanes on, like everybody got their own airplane or something like that. Or maybe, I mean, one thing did come through, like the FaceTime. I did think FaceTime, you be able to see people and talk to them. I did see that.
Yeah, I saw the video game online shit. I saw that, being able to play your boy in his house. I saw that coming.
I didn't see the whole like transgender world or the pandemic, or like I didn't know what the mark of the beast would be. And I'm not saying that this vax is the mark of the beast, but I feel like if it's not, it's the prelude to it.
Your hands are covering your face, Bobby.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I said
that's all right.
I didn't see the mark of the beast. And I'm not saying that the vax is the mark of the beast, but I'm saying
it's the seed that's going to get people
prelude,
prepared.
Prelude to the mark of the beast.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Because it's all about how many people can we get to conform.
Right.
Even though this doesn't make sense.
In my time, I really didn't see this
Never.
idea happening.
Who would have ever? But they couldn't have done it back in our day, dog.
Yeah.
You think they could have locked down the world back in our day? The world. There was nowhere you could go.
People were more rebellious too in those days, man.
Yeah, man.
People were more rebellious. Like people would have been out in the streets. It would have been lawlessness. Everybody would have suspended their jobs. You know what I mean? What's the nation's problem?
What are we looking at?
This is
zooming in a little bit. Give it a little zoom.
Just so you can see how many the percentage of conformity in the country.
Oh, so 77%.
Population have received one dose. 65% of the population considered fully vaccinated. 29% of the population have received a booster.
So what that
What's the
says
percentage
right
of
there.
the unvaxxed, though? I guess we'd have to do the.
See, but what that says right there, if you notice, 77% was the top one. They went out there when that vaccination got out and they all got it. But then that thing drops when it comes to the second dose.
Right.
And then it drops even further when it comes to the booster.
And it also
To realize,
People are waking up.
It's interesting the terminology also that says vaccine progress tracker. Like progress has some good connotation, like you're moving forward, progressing towards a common goal. It's interesting, man. Words mean everything, and when you change meaning of them,
words have so much fucking power. It's ridiculous.
That's why
Words
I say
nation. The biggest lies that we were taught when we were young is what was the shit we were taught? Sticks and stones may break our bones, but words will never hurt us.
That's a lie.
Anyone who says that never heard a chick say, "I want a divorce." You know what I'm saying? They never heard a chick say, "I'm fucking your friend." You know, what do you mean words don't hurt? What do you mean words got no power? I get paid for my words. Not on this shit, but I get paid for my words.
Right.
Words have so much power. Words can curse a man or bring blessings on a man. And those are the two things they always do. That's the two things that words always do. They either lift you up or bring you down. You know, if there's no power in those words, then all it does is suck your energy. That's all it does.
Talk about it.
And there's too many energy drainers in this world, man.
Talk about it.
Too many energy drainers. I wonder why I'm always tired. I was telling this dude, I wonder why I'm always tired. Of course I'm always tired. I go on stage for an hour. They go, "Oh, that's not a lot of time." But everybody there is taking my energy. And they're not just taking it there. They're bringing it home with them. They're bringing that energy home with them. And then I come in and I'm dealing with comedians who all want to unload on me or all need me to lift them up.
Right.
Then I come home and I deal with the dogs and the cat who don't listen. Both of them don't listen. All they do is keep sucking that energy. But I'm not around anybody I could plug into. Other than my son. My son lifts me up when I'm down. But the problem with me and my son is we're constantly doing this.
Right.
Every now and then we meet in the middle, but then he's down and I got to bring him up. And then I'm down, he got to bring me up. So it's like everybody needs somebody that just.
That's a blessing, though. That's a blessing.
Oh, no, I'm so glad he's here.
That's
with
a
me,
blessing,
because
bro.
before him, I had nobody here.
That's a blessing. You know what I mean? That's a blessing.
And the thing is, what's really encouraging is a lot of the times to bring me up, all he really does is just repeat the shit that I said to him. And then two things happen. One, I get uplifted because I know he's actually listening, and not just listening, but putting it into application.
Nice.
And then two is
what
I said was right. What I said was right because he just repeated it to me and it brought me up.
Wait, what you said, Brian?
I said the second thing is you realize what nonsense you told your son.
Nah, son. Listen, my words constantly encourage me. I don't know about you. Do you listen to your old tracks?
The periods of time when I do.
Periods of time, right? But now when you do, like I did it maybe a month ago. I don't know what happened, but I was showing somebody a song I wrote, and then I started just listening to my shit. A lot of that shit was ministering to me. Yeah. In the place I was right then when I just decided to turn that shit on. That's cool. And sometimes I sit there and go, damn, it sucks that my music never really got to where I wanted it to go. Sometimes I get a little down on that, right? But then I realized when I first started doing my shit, I remember, being the spiritual dude I try to be. I remember saying, Lord, I want to touch people. Not in the physical sense, but in that spiritual sense where them meeting me or listening to my music was something positive in their life. Yeah. And I remember, because you know how the Lord be talking to you in that inner man. And he said, what if you're the only person that gets touched? Never really knowing that I would be needing that down the road. Right. When I needed encouragement, I was the only one that could encourage me. Because in reality, other than God, I'm the only one that understands me. A lot of people say they understand you, but only you really understand you.
That's a fact.
Only you really understand you. And that's another reason that I always say, like, like when it comes to this pandemic, people go, you're bugging. I wasn't worried, man, because the truth is I don't take care of myself in the sense of worrying about my health. And I don't. No one would be surprised if they found out G had some crazy, debilitating, life-threatening fucking thing that he never got checked. No one would be surprised. I tell people on stage, if I was to drop right here, the only ones who would be surprised is y'all, because y'all don't know me. The comics wouldn't be surprised. My friends would be like, wow, okay, that's how it happened. Like, so why am I going to worry now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I forever put myself in the line of fire. I forever put myself on the side of, oh shit, this can go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just in my lifestyle. I like to party. I like to chill. I like to fucking, you know, all that shit could be dangerous. You know, I always say I don't do the kill you drugs, but I do a couple of can kill you drugs. If you're stupid, then don't fucking, you know, it could.
Wait, tell me the difference between the kill you drugs and the can kill you drugs.
Well, the can't kill you drugs is if you're not smart, of course, like when people go, oh, you do acid, you jump off the roof. Yeah, if you forget that you took a little thing earlier, you know what I'm saying? Like no one really dies from acid, but people do die from the result of it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas heroin, you know, heroin can kill you. Like you know, it's like this dude. This dude, we very openly speak, so I know he won't have a problem with me sharing it.
Wait,
you know,
I'm sorry. Wait. I just want to get this right. Heroin is the kill you drug.
Yeah.
Correct.
The acid is the can kill you drug.
Can't kill you.
Forget that you took a little bit of acid. And
yeah. That's why I never had a bad trip, dog. Because people be having bad trips. And I remember I used to have to talk my people down because they'd be like, and I'd be like, yo, dude, remember like 4 hours ago, we took that little thing and they'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, that's why you feel the way you feel, man. Yeah. Relax. Ride it out, dog. You'll be all right. Yeah, remember when you asked me how long will it last? And I said 8 hours. Relax. You know, if you find yourself on a ledge or looking out your window and thinking you can fly, remember that you took something 4 hours ago and you can't fly. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I feel like you should write a manual.
Yo, dude,
we've been recording it. This is like episode 60 of it. Yeah, this is it.
Nah, dude, it's funny because I speak to people in rehab because I do a lot of shit where I say I'm not a quitter. So, you know, you're not going to find me in rehab. And afterwards, they'll come and they'll talk to me about drugs and shit. And like one time, one person said, what's your favorite drug? You know, trying to catch me in some shit. I said, well, if I had to pick a favorite, I guess it would be MDMA. You know, because MDMA makes you forget that this world sucks, even though you fully know it does, because I remember I took something, but you don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't give a fuck. You feel good. You can sit there just rubbing your hand for 8 hours. Well, 4. It only lasts for 4. But you know, if you take the boost, so I'm sitting there and I go, I like MDMA, but the truth is, you know, you can only do that 4 times a year. And they were like, what? And I'm like, yeah, because really, if you do it any more than once every, 4 months. Or like a couple of months, it's not going to be the same. You're going to be chasing that dragon. You're going to be trying to make it feel the way it felt when you just took it because it runs off your serotonin and your serotonin gets depleted, so you got to give your body time to build up that serotonin to a point that it's as enjoyable as it was when you took it. And the dude looks at me and goes, the dude looks at me and goes, you might be one of the most functional drug doers I've ever met. And I go, oh, you don't want to talk to me, dog. I make drugs look fun. I make them look fun because look at me, man. Look, here's the thing. I know my rent got to be paid. I know my bills got to be paid. They got to be paid. It's that simple. They got to be paid. Otherwise, I'm going to end up like those people. And here's the thing. I know nobody, when they're young, says, when I grow up, I want to be a homeless crackhead. Nobody says that. But the reason why they are is because somewhere along the line, they forgot their bills need to be paid.
Yep, they had to pay their rent. Yep.
Don't forget that. If you
don't forget if you don't forget the fact that your bills need to be paid, then guess what? You're never going to do too much drugs. You're always going to do just enough. It's like people say to me the other day, how do you maintain your physical? How do you stay thin? How do you because I eat what I could afford.
That's my diet.
Which isn't a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my diet. I eat what I could afford. Motherfuckers come to my house to be like, dude, you in college or something? Because all they see is ramen noodles and fucking frozen pizza. I eat what I could afford. And that's the true shit. Frozen pizza, this and that. All I eat is processed shit. So why am I going to worry about corona? The food I eat's going to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfuckers out here going, wear your mask. And meanwhile, that motherfucker was eating some chick's ass that he just met that night in the club. And you telling me to put on my mask. Put on your mask, motherfucking ass mouth. Put on your mask. And give me back my blunt. Don't even take a pull from it. Come here. Give me that blunt back.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's just stupid, man. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know what happened to the fact that if it don't make sense, it probably just don't make sense. And that's what you said before. You don't need a doctor to tell you you're sick.
Right.
And that really got me. That they had healthy people believing they were sick.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm healthy. No, you're not.
They use terms like asymptomatics. You could spread it. You could spread a symptom. A symptom is simply the body telling you that it has a problem. That's what symptoms are.
Yes, there are signs and then there are
signs.
Symptoms.
They're telling you asymptomatic does not even exist.
It by definition doesn't exist.
Yeah, it doesn't even exist. That, you can have it, but you don't know you have it because you're asymptomatic.
Yeah, so in other words, I'm healthy.
Right. But don't believe yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like one of my mans a long time ago, we were kids. Dudes, we had two different girls, and this girl bust into a room and saw him with another girl. And this is a true story. He said to her, "Who you gonna believe, me or your eyes?"
And then they got married and had 5 kids. Who are you gonna believe, me or your eyes? This bitch ain't here. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then you rubbing her titties and shit. And you're like, look, there's nobody here. Look, what are you talking about? There's nobody here. There's nobody here, man. Who are you gonna believe, me or your fucking eyes? Look, nobody's here.
But this is essentially what they've been doing.
I love that, dude. I ain't gonna lie. I'm stealing that.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
I'm taking that. Who you gonna believe, baby? Me or your eyes? I'm bringing that somehow on stage. That's brilliant. Thank you, man. Give me his name. I'll send him a check for writer's credit on that one. Because that is genius. That is, that dude is married to her now with 5 kids, right?
Nah, he ain't married, but he got a bunch of kids. I think he got like 10 kids. I'm not even lying.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, man. See, Brian always likes it. We talk about how he recovered from his addictions, and I go, dude, you wasn't even an addict. You don't got one crack baby. How can you be an addict?
Not that I know of, bro.
At least one crack baby.
We just don't know that. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
You think there's a little Brian out there?
No, there's definitely not. No
There's
way.
definitely not. There's
definitely not. No way.
What's up with you, man? You plan on having more kids? You think you can bring another kid in this world?
Negative, man.
Negative. I don't even understand anyone who wants to bring a child into this world right now.
That's the thing. If the world wasn't on the trajectory that it's on right now, I would have said that if my kid, God forbid, grows up to be like, a transgender or some shit like that, then I just have another kid. But I wouldn't even do that. Like if my
just try again.
Yeah, I just try.
You figure you got that one wrong. You're just gonna try again.
Right. And my rationale would be like, look, I actually raised you, and damn, I fucked up. So the next kid, I'm just gonna have it and not raise it.
Just let somebody else do it.
But now, what happens if that kid just comes out regular gay?
I wouldn't even know because I'd be dead. So it wouldn't matter. So it wouldn't matter, right?
I don't even know how to digest that one, Sim dog. See, some things we agree. This is living proof that you don't have to agree with everything your boy says to be boys.
Or even
Right.
understand what they said to be boys.
Yeah, and I just like to reaffirm, in no way does any of the thoughts and opinions that are viewed on here express the thoughts and opinions of any of the other people viewed on here, unless they say themselves they agree. Okay.
Exactly.
Sim, man. So what's up, man? Now that you got this time, man, are you writing, producing for anybody? Are you doing anything like with the arts?
So initially I was like, I have a bunch of songs, in the computer right there. But in the last, I'll say, because I've been on this unpaid leave for about 5 months. So I say the first 2.5 months, I was probably like looking at more music. But now I've kind of, refocused my energy because I'm really trying to understand, we have a court case running right now. I don't know if you know that.
No, I don't.
So although I'm not a named plaintiff in the court case, I represent, we have a group called Educators for Freedom. Educatorsforfreedom.com. You can check it out. So what we are fundraising to pretty much sue the Department of Education because we applied for religious exemptions to not take this vax. They denied our religious exemptions. And so we have about, it's about 200 over, it's more than that. It's about maybe like, I'll just go on a limb and say 1,200 teachers who chose to push back. And
see, I was going to ask you that question. In the school that you were in, approximately how many people went your direction and how many people just complied? Like percentage wise, what would you say?
So in my school itself, school.
Were you the only one?
I'm the only one in my school that complied.
The only one in your school
that
didn't comply.
That did not comply, sorry.
Yeah.
In the actual school, so there's 2 schools in the building. So in the other school, I know of 2 teachers that did not comply. So between the 2 schools, there are 3 teachers that didn't comply.
Wow. And everybody else will say, I had no choice.
It's like, I had no choice. I need my job, So
I get it.
Right. So
I ain't gonna say I don't get it, people. Don't think, we beating on you or nothing like that. We're just saying what it is.
But you got to stand for something.
It just is, man. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, right? And that's the problem. People keep thinking, look, if we just give them this, they'll leave us alone. Right. But no, man, because a bully will keep taking. And the more you give, the more they'll take. And I know this because I got bullied in 3D. And I got bullied all the way up to the 7th grade. And I'm talking full bullying, whole school following you home while you're being bullied.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna be bullied anymore.
Nah, not
those days are over,
So yes. So this is you put it up. This is our website. So if you look, we have a fundraiser coming up April 7th. We're showing in Coney Island. We're doing a movie night for the kids, and these are some of the things that we do to kind of raise funds to pay for the lawsuit. A few weeks ago, I think in around February last month, actually, we had a Tropical Night fundraiser. You see that? We had an open mic event at this other spot, and we're doing different things to kind of fundraise to pay.
The open mic was what? Was it open anything, poetry, music?
Yeah, it was
comedy,
anything, poetry, music, comedy.
So what's the website?
Educators for Freedom.
Educatorsforfreedom.com.org.
.com. He just had it up. We secured our 501c3 status. So
nice.
Anyone is donating to us, we are officially tax exempt, so you can get tax exemption credit for
if somebody wants to help, what do they do, Bobby? If somebody wants to contribute and fight the fight with you, what do they do?
Yeah, go to the website. We have links up. I think we have a Cash App, we have a Venmo, we have PayPal accounts. You can donate. We have a Give Send Go as well, so you can give to Give Send Go as well.
I'll put the episode description. People can find it.
Say again.
I'll put all the stuff in the episode description, so
cool.
People watching the show they can find it. Yep.
Yeah, appreciate that. And every little bit helps, man. I mean,
yeah, man.
The case has been briefed 8 times, which means this freedom ain't free, man. People think freedom is free. That shit is not free. So we actually owe the attorney. And it's a back and forth fight with the attorneys and myself. because these guys, look, it costs money to do this stuff, and they want us, and we've been fundraising, and fundraising slowed down a lot now, but they're still fighting for us, so I appreciate that.
Listen, I would like to believe that the people who listen to my show are one or two people, either haters or just obviously they don't, because I would have been canceled already.
Right.
But I like to believe the people who listen to our show are warriors. And if you want to help this warrior right here, fight that fight, man, any little bit helps. Go to the website, contribute something. I'm sure you could even contribute time, if energy.
Yeah.
I'm sure your energy would be appreciated too if you want to, put your boots on the ground.
Right.
But if you don't, we understand. But let's help this movement out, man. This is where the rubber meets the road.
I haven't put these on the website yet, but I will. So we got these shirts, these sweaters. We got them in these Educators for Freedom sweaters that we're selling for $36 to also help out. They will be on the website soon. We got them in gray. We got them in red. These are the American flag colors. We got them in the red, white, and blue as well. E for F. And we have some T-shirts coming soon too.
Well, I like that you have the American flag on there. I like that because a lot of people misconstrue the sort of stuff for being anti, American or patriotic, and it's actually anything but that.
Right. In fact,
it's actually patriotic.
It really is.
In fact, that's the opposite.
That's
exactly what patriotic is.
Yeah, people come at me for being against America, and it's the opposite of that. I'm against the people who are in the government.
I'm against the people who are fucking America up.
Yes, big difference.
So
what I'm saying? I love America, but that doesn't say how great America is. It says how fucked up everything is everywhere else.
Look, I'm learning.
That's all I know. So
I'm learning. Actually, this movement is helping me learn to love America. I'll say before this, I was not a fan of America. And this is, and I say this to folks, this moment in history is gonna help me really feel American. Because all the while growing up, I haven't been feeling American. In fact, if you saw that shirt, the reason why it's grayed out is because, as far as I'm concerned, they have turned the lights out on freedom. So it's grayed out. So one of the things when I'm out there speaking, I'm like, look, if we want to turn the lights back on for freedom, you need to support so we can get back to that red, white, and blue color, right? You need to support our movement and movements like ours. You know what I'm saying? And this is actually where I'm starting to feel like, what? We're actually all Americans, because now this is one time in history. The only good thing I can say about the scamdemic is that it really has unified, especially in our section, all groups of people. You know what I'm saying?
It broke down walls.
Right. It doesn't matter. Like, honestly, it's not, Black Lives Matter. Every life matter right now. You know what I'm saying? We got Asian people, white people, Irish, Polish, Caribbean, Italian, African American, whatever. We have all different groups of people that's a part of the group. You know what I mean? And it really shows.
You didn't say Puerto Ricans. I didn't say shit.
They're not part of the group.
You know what I'm saying? So
dude, Puerto Ricans, we like to just sit back and, let them do a lot of the legwork, and then we just follow them in. That's what we do. We just get right behind them, son. We just get on those coattails and ride.
Like, you guys done? Oh, okay.
We get on those coattails. We just ride it right in. Smooth and easy.
So yeah, so this is a moment for me. Like, I'm like, all right, America, show me what you got.
Shit, man. I fucking love you, Sim. I love you, Sim. I'm so glad that you came on. I knew. I can't wait to go back and listen to this. I always go back, I can't wait to go back and listen, because there's a lot of stuff I know I missed that I want to absorb, and not just absorb, but also put into application, because, that's when shit, eventually the rubber got to meet the road, people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Eventually the rubber got to meet the road, and eventually you're going to be tested on who you are, on your faith, on where you stand, on where you want to be, and the kind of place you want to leave behind for your children.
Right. Look, right now, this is tribe season. You know what I'm saying? You got to find your tribe. That's the only way we're going to make it out. And unfortunately, I think a lot of folks not going to make it out because they can't see what's coming. But it is tribe season. You know what I mean? It's pick a side season.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So you got to pick your side. Yep.
Can't stand on the sidelines no more.
Right. You can't be quiet. The fact that you're being quiet, you inadvertently chose a side.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And, you need to be on the right side. Because, it's it's God over evil right now. It's not even good over evil. It's God over evil. You know what I'm saying?
Said, man,
good enough.
I fucking love you. People go to the website, check out my boy Simeon. Yo, Sim, man, you know what you need to do? You need to take the tracks that you have and just put them out. It's a different world now, dog. 99 cents a track, son. And where's my slave track? You still never sent it to me, man. One of the greatest songs ever fucking written.
Yeah, I want to hear that. Gary told me about that. I want to hear that.
Where is it? I want it, man. I know you got it.
Yeah, I got
okay?
it. Got it somewhere, man.
People, in the words of one of the greatest poets I ever met, you need to go out there and protect your heart. That's why God made ribs. That's why God made ribs, dog. To protect that heart, man. Don't let this world scare you. If they can't scare you, they can't control you, man. And that's what it's all about, you know.
Yo,
we're gonna be all right, people. We're gonna be all right. Be not afraid. We're gonna be all right. Brian, anything you need to share? Yo, if you want to get your mug.
Yeah. A special shout out to our sponsors, Triple X Playground.
Word. Hold on a second. Yeah, hold on a second, man. Before we go, I should have did this in the beginning.
That's all right. I can we can switch.
I never had a sponsor for the show, so I mean, I'm learning this as we go too, people. You know, life happens as we do it. So big shout out to our sponsor, Triple X Playground. You know what I'm saying? It's the best adult sex game ever made. This communication tool was created with the intentions of perfecting a medium where adults can bask in the uninhibited sexual communications, all the while bridging the gap and eliminating awkwardness, criticism, and judgment. As a result, building stronger, healthier bonds filled with love and trust. Because without trust, there is no love, man. Get yours now by scanning the PR code on the bottom of our screen or by clicking the link in the episode description. Thank you, Triple X Playground. Big up to my man, Spank Dog, the owner of that, man. And Simeon, man.
We also have another sponsor.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. Special shout out to our sponsor, What's Good CBD. Check them out at what'sgoodcbd.com. What's Good CBD uses the high CBD content of hemp to ease and clear the mind of individuals who need help. Our mission is to help people focus on good things in life, especially by clearing the smoke around cannabis. We focus on raising awareness about cannabis and believe that is beneficial. We want to help people recover from their ailments through the proper application of cannabis. This company is actually started by a friend of mine, a college buddy, who has a really unique story. He will be on the show sometime in the future. You can check out his stuff at what'sgoodcbd.com.
Brian, I love you, man. We are blowing up 2 fucking sponsors. We doubled. Last week, we only had 1. If you want to check me out, follow me, Gary G. Garcia on Instagram, Facebook, man. You can see me at Atlantic City Tuesday through Sundays. We do 2 shows out there, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock. And you can catch me at the Not Quite Tuesday show in New York at the Grizzly Pear, midnight every Monday. And that's about it. People, thanks for checking out another episode of Rated G, man. We love y'all. You can do it even if y'all didn't listen, but I love the fact that you do. Thank you so much, man. Peace.
Peace.